up at the night sky and wondered how we make sense of all these stars? To us, they look infinite, scattered lights in endless darkness. But over a century ago, a woman named Annie J. Kanan sought to bring order to that chaos. But this isn't just about astronomy, it's about philosophy, about how humans from Aristotle to Annie J. Kanan have always tried to find meaning by naming and organizing the world around us. In this video, I want to explore how both thinkers show the beauty of classification and why it's so important.
We have a tendency to classify things without even really thinking about it. Our music, our files, our world, it feels instinctive, but this impulse runs deeper than tidiness. Classification is how we make sense of reality itself. From ancient philosophers mapping existence to modern scientists charting the cosmos, the act of organizing has always been the foundation of knowledge. And to see where it all began, we have to start with the original master of order, Aristotle. Aristotle believed that everything from a bird to a rock to a person had an unchangeable essence. This is the essential difference. The core traits that Aristotle believed define a thing's true unchangeable nature and place in his world is what helped categorize those things. And this was a logical method. In his logical method, he observed traits and then he identified the essential ones that defined that thing and then used those differences to build a grand hierarchy of all existence. Fast forward a couple thousand years after Aristotle, astronomer Annie Jump Kanan took on one of the greatest classification challenges in science. She personally cataloged over 225,000 stars while working at the Harvard College Observatory in the early 1900s. Her work led to the creation of the OBA-FGKM system, which grew stars not by abstract ideas but by observable data. Specifically, the spectrum of light each star emitted. This revealed the star's temperature and color, with the hottest being blue O type stars and the coolest red M type stars, like the opposite ends of a thermometer, or a cosmic thermometer, if you will. Unlike Aristotle, who searched for a thing's unchanging essence through logic and reason, Kanan built her classifications directly from evidence and technology. Using tools like photography and spectroscopy, her approach marked a shift from philosophical speculation to data driven science. And this kind of created a flexible system that could evolve as human understanding of the universe grew. Both Aristotle and Annie Jump Kanan believed in the power of classification, but they used it in different ways. For Aristotle, classification revealed what things are, their essence, and their natural place. For Kanan, classification revealed how things appear, patterns and relationships that help us make sense of the unknown. In this contrast, we can see how philosophy and science evolve. Aristotle searched for eternal truths, whereas Kanan built systems that can change as knowledge grew. But both, in their own ways, remind us that order isn't something given, it's something we create through understanding. And from there, we can learn how to categorize. And there are many different ways to categorize. Long before Annie jumped Canaan, Aristotle wrote that knowledge begins by sorting things into kinds, by noticing differences and similarities. He classified animals by trait, like how they move, what they eat, or how they reproduce. Canon does something similar, but with light instead of life. Yet there isn't just one way to classify. Aristotle grouped things by purpose and nature, Canon by observation and measurement, but both methods work because classification depends on our goals. Sometimes we classify to understand function, other times to see patterns. How we classify the world shapes how we understand it.
Annie Jane Kanan reminds us that science and philosophy share the same impulse, the desire to make sense of what we see. Her classification of stars was more than data, it was a way of thinking. And Aristotle's idea still echoes in her work that by naming and organizing, we bring the universe closer to understanding. But we also learn that there is not one single order, only the ones we create help us to see. Maybe that's what makes science and philosophy human. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe.